My husband's cheating partner says triumphantly, "Your husband is always saying that I'm his real partner and that you're just someone he's having an affair with." No, this is some kind of misunderstanding. When I saw the two of them in front of me, the words came out of my mouth naturally. "I'm sorry, I didn't realize that." "Don't worry, I'll support you." What? My name is Brooklyn. I live in an apartment in San Francisco. I currently live with my husband, Mason. Unfortunately, we are not blessed with any children. I am now 50 years old. My parents own a lot of real estate in the city and the suburbs. I've also benefited from their wealth. My parents have entrusted me with the management of several properties. This gives us good income, so Mason doesn't work. When we first got married, Mason worked as a salesman for a brokerage firm. But when he found out that I only worked a few days a month and was making more money than he was, he quit his job. If I don't have to work so hard, I want to spend more time with you, Brooklyn. Well, maybe that's true, I thought without questioning anything. I allowed him to rely on my income. Even when he was home, he only did a little bit of housework. We had housekeeping come twice a week, and we went out to eat often. I didn't have any particular complaints about our lives. He never raised his voice or was arrogant. Whenever we celebrated an anniversary, he always gave me flowers and gifts. All the money came from me, though. But even so, I enjoyed living life with him. We lived happily together in our own way. One day, I went to the office of the hotel that I was in charge of managing. I finished my work and drank the coffee. I was being escorted out of the lobby by the manager. "Oh, that is... Is everything okay?" I had dropped dead in my tracks. The manager looked at me and curiously said, "What's wrong?" The manager saw the person I was looking at and started to panic. "Why is your husband here?" Yes, in the lobby is unmistakably my husband. He told me he was going on a journey of self-discovery. I thought he left yesterday. But there he was, arm in arm with a pretty girl. He is flirting with her without hesitation. I'm gonna go talk to him. "What, Brooklyn?" With the frightened manager behind me, I made my way to Mason. He was so intent on flirting that he didn't even notice my approach. "Mason, what are you doing here today?" I tapped him on the shoulder twice. He turned around and suddenly turned pale in the face, and then he brushed off the arm of the girl he's been flirting with. "Brooklyn, what are you doing here?" "This is the hotel I manage, you know." "What? Is that so?" He's been sweating a lot. He's more confused than I've ever seen. "Mason, who is this?" And then I hear a very sweet voice next to him. I looked over. She was a very young, mid-20s, I'd say. She had a cute face with big, round eyes. She had a very pretty face and a very feminine body. She was totally different from me, who had a frail, skinny appearance. I was scouted as a model when I was in school. I don't think I have an ugly appearance or a bad figure. "Nice to meet you. I'm Mason's wife. My name is Brooklyn." I greeted her properly. After a moment of huffing and puffing, the woman smiled and said, "Oh, I see. Actually, me and Mason just had a sweet time in a suite here at the hotel." "What?" "No, Brooklyn, is that true, Mason? Does this mean you were having an affair with this woman?" It was the woman who answered my question, not Mason. "We weren't having an affair. We're serious about each other. Mason and I are destined to be together. He always says that. He says you're a naive old lady, that you're pretentious and have no common sense, and that you're too skinny. He said I was prettier than you." "Serious? Destiny?" "No, Brooklyn, this is a misunderstanding. Mason is always telling me that I'm the one. He always tells me that we're destined to be together." I was frozen by the suddenness of the situation. I guess she thought she'd won. She started rambling on like a victorious woman. Mason was cringing. And the woman next to him, proudly saying that they were serious about each other. There was nothing I could do. The words came out of my mouth, smoothly and naturally. I see. Then I'll leave because I don't want to interrupt you guys. I'm sorry, Mason. I didn't know I was the one you were having an affair with. I hope you'll be happy with that pretty woman. I'll be wishing your happiness. He starts panicking like crazy. No, Brooklyn, listen to me. Oh, why don't you stay in the suite one more night? Hey, manager, can you arrange that? I called out to the manager, who was listening to our conversation, sweating strangely a little behind me. Why, are you sure? If you say so. He readily agreed. Good, because Mason's happiness is my happiness. Take good care of the woman of your dreams right next to you, okay? Oh, you're so understanding. Brooklyn, this is a misunderstanding. This is great. Let's go then. Mason was being dragged away by this woman. Waving my hands and smiling, I saw them off. I wish you happiness. After I left, I immediately returned to my apartment. I called my parents and told them what had happened. They told me to get out of there immediately. Yes, this is Dragon Movers. How can I help you? Hi, I'd like to arrange moving. Okay, where are you scheduled to move? Today. Today. I'm very sorry, it would be difficult. I see, but it's just a few boxes for a single person. The place I'm moving is just about 10 minutes away by car. Is that still too difficult? I don't have any furniture. I'll pay as much as you want me to. Oh, such an easy move. Let me check. The phone was put on hold and I waited for a few minutes. It just so happened that there were some cancellations for today, so they said they had an extra team of workers. They accepted my request. They told me they'd charge me a little more because of the short notice, but it was a small price to pay to support my husband's love. Then I started packing in a hurry. This was a furnished house, so there was no need to move them. I didn't have a lot of stuff to pack. My parents own various apartments in the different parts of the city. My personal belongings were dispersed there as well. I have very few possessions. My packing was quick and easy. What was more difficult than packing my own belongings was packing Mason's belongings. I went into his bedroom and put all of his stuff in cardboard boxes, one by one. Forgive the mess, I don't have much time. Well, movers are not taking all of this stuff with them, so I don't have to pack them carefully. After all the stuff in his room was packed in cardboard boxes, I took them out the front door. The movers had just arrived. Thank you for using our service today. We look forward to working with you. Young man greeted me with a nice smile, but when he saw my husband's luggage in the front door, his face obviously scrunched up. Are we going to carry these? They were not properly sealed, and the packages were about to spill out from all the cardboard boxes. Even the movers wouldn't like that. No, I'm sorry, these are my husband's personal belongings. I'd appreciate it if you would only carry my stuff. My boxes are over there. Looking at a few cardboard boxes piled up in the hallway, the movers clearly looked relieved. The destination is this apartment. My mother will be waiting for you there. With that, I handed them the piece of paper with the destination written on it. The movers had a pleasant smile on their face until the end. Now, moving on to the cleaning. I called the cleaning company that I always patronize. I asked them to clean the house where I used to live with Mason. They came right away and cleaned up every inch of the room. Well, we had housekeeping twice a week, so it wasn't that hard to clean the room. And finally, I asked the locksmith company, which I also patronize, to change the locks. Now, when Mason comes back, he can't even go inside. I would feel sorry for him if he had to see the traces of our life together. He's in love with the woman of his dreams. I can't let that ruin it. And after all the work was done, I was off on my way to my new home. Yes, hello, what's up, Mason? Mason called me the next day, just before noon. Apparently, he had a nice, sweet time in the suite. I'm in a cab on the way to my place. Why can't I get in the house? I'm just trying to make sure that you can go there without worrying. So I backed off as best as I could. I told you it was a misunderstanding. I wasn't cheating on you. I know you weren't cheating on me, but you were serious about her, right? No, you didn't have to go this far. It's okay, Mason. I understand. I'm wishing you happiness. Oh, gotta go. Bye. Wait. I'm getting off here. Thank you. I paid and got off the cab. I got off at a small but beautiful hotel. It's Mason's parents' house. Hello? I went out to the back door to the man house and rang the bell. After a while, I heard footsteps. Yes, who is it? Brooklyn? Hi, Isla. It's been a long time. Come on in. Is everything all right at the hotel? Jack and Kate are doing a great job running the space. Samuel and I feel like we're already retired. Jack is Mason's older brother. Kate is his wife. When I entered the living room, my father-in-law Samuel greeted me with a kind smile. Hey, Brooklyn, it's been a long time. Hi, Samuel. Come on, sit down. You're still as beautiful as ever. You haven't changed one bit since you married Mason. You are too good for Mason. How are you two getting along? I wanted to talk to you guys today about it. What? They must have sensed something disturbing. Their facial expressions hardened. They never complained about me and Mason not ever having children. They're kind people, so it pains me to tell them, but I must say. Actually, I think Mason has found true love. He told me that he and I had been having an affair for a long time. He's in love with someone else, so I've decided to step aside. I have come to inform you of this today. With a pause, the expressions on their faces fell away. I'm very sorry to say this. I'm afraid the other woman does not want to see the slightest glimpse of me. I know here was a monthly financial contribution from our family to you. I'm going to have to stop that. I need to support Mason's true love. I'm going to withdraw myself from all of this. Thank you for everything. Saying that, I left them. It was that night Mason called me again. Yes? Hello, what's up, Mason? I went to my parents' house today and they told me because I cheated on you, they lost their financial support from you. They scolded me and cut ties with me. What am I supposed to do? I don't think your partner would be very happy if we were related in any way. I don't see how I can continue to support your family after the divorce. Divorce? I'm not getting a divorce. That's not good. Because I'm supporting you and your partner. I want you to marry her and be happy. No, you can't divorce me. How am I supposed to live if I get divorced? What? Why don't you just go and live with your partner? She works part-time and doesn't have a lot of money. And I don't have a job. You'll get through it. It's true love, Mason. It's okay. I'm rooting for you both. I'm not trying to get alimony from you. What? Really? Yes, of course. What about the division of property? Of course, we'll split it in half. Oh, half? I see. Obviously, his tone of voice had changed. Now would be the time. So, I need you to sign the divorce papers. After you sign it, can you send it to me? I'll message you where to send it after. You're not going to tell me your new address. Mason, I decided to support you guys with all my heart. We can't be related in any way. Oh, I see. A few days after this exchange, I received a notice from Mason that said he had sent me the divorce files. I got them and submitted them that day to the city office. The divorce was final. I felt refreshed. One day when I was going to do my job and enjoying every day in my own way, I got a call from Mason. Hello? What's up, Mason? He sounded somewhat panicked. Oh, thank God I can still reach you. Hey, we're divorced, right? Yes, we are. Right, by the way, what's the deal with the division of property? Oh, about that. You know, if you think about it, we both have the same amount of assets. In fact, you had more than me, so you have to pay me. Is that okay? What? I laughed at the sound of a very stupid voice on the other end of the line. I'm not the type of person who owns that many brand name bags and stuff. I only have a few expensive things, but I take good care of them. When I think about it, the total amount of stuff like bags and watches you've bought with my money since we got married is much more than I have. No, that's not what I meant. I'm talking about apartments, hotels, that kind of thing. What? There's no such properties that can be divided. What? I heard a hushed voice. You managed a lot of apartments and hotels. They're all in my parents' name. I will own them eventually, but at this point nothing is in my name. I was just managing them. What? You're kidding, right? I'm not kidding. And the money I was getting as a management fee, if you exclude the living expenses from it, You spent almost all of it every month. And since we have no savings, we have practically no assets to share. Like I said, if you're considering the brand name items you have a lot more than I do. So, you're gonna have to pay me. Is that okay? Do you still want to do this? He doesn't answer my question. No matter how many times I asked him, still no answer, so I hung up the phone. Oh yeah, I knew it was a good idea to keep in touch like this. I'm gonna go buy a new cell phone. Then, a few months later, I was reading the investigation report that came in a large envelope. I was curious what had happened to Mason's true love since then. I hired a detective to find out what happened to my ex-husband and his girlfriend. According to the report, Mason and his girlfriend were counting on my fortune. But when she realized she was getting nothing, she left him. Mason was dumped by the woman of his dreams, disowned by his parents. He had nowhere to go. And he had no work experience, so he couldn't even get a job at a company. Now he's working part-time as a temp, getting yelled at every day. I heard that he works at a construction site at night. Looking at the picture of him waving the flag, I tilted my head, wondering. That's strange. I went out of my way to support his happiness. Why doesn't he look happy? I smiled as I looked at the picture. I sipped my tea slowly.